Hey guys, what's going on? This is Mina, and in this video, I'm gonna talk about 3 renovation mistakes that I made as a beginner in real estate. And the goal here is for you not to do the same shit that I did. Cue the intro. So, mistake number 1, over-renovating. So before you tell me, oh no, this is not a mistake I would fall for. No, you absolutely might fall for it, and you better be prepared. And how do we prepare for this? Budget. So budget is this extremely unsexy and extremely boring word that nobody wants to hear. It's not the fun part about real estate. However, in this particular mistake, it is absolutely crucial. So shut up and let's budget. So how do I budget for any renovation in any market? Well, great question. Budget, 3 steps. Number 1, find out top market rent. So you go into your market, you find out what a 2-bedroom apartment rents for, how do they look, and what's the best rent you can potentially get in that market. Let's call it arbitrarily $1,000. Good job. Number 2, but wait. First, you need to make sure that that's just not a one-off thing. You need to make sure that that's the average, that there is 10 places that are all for $1,000. Now that's a reasonable number to go by. Now let's go to number 2. Find out the current rentability of your unit. Unless it's a gutted unit or completely destroyed, which is a different story, but the current shitty unit you have with its yellow walls and its green floors and all that garbage, what can you rent it for now as is? How do you find that? Go to the goddamn market. Look at units that look similar to yours and see what people are asking for them. Just try and find out an average number. Let's call that number $500. So, we have here $1,000 is our top market. Our current number is $500.
Now let's go to number 3.
Number 3 is you're gonna see what that difference is. So we have 1,000 minus 500, that's $500. What does that look like in a year? $6,000. So as a general rule of thumb, you wanna make sure that you get your money back within 2 to 3 years. You don't wanna leave your money out there for 5 to 10 years while you get it back. So what does that look like? So 6,000 in 2 to 3 years means your budget now is between $12,000 to $18,000. Great, that's a fantastic budget. So now we know what is our maximum budget that we need to spend. You might need to pivot accordingly, a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on your market, but this is the general rule of thumb that you need to be able to follow. Just so you don't fall for the over-renovating trap that I fell for on and on and on again. I did this shit like several times, but let's not open that wound. Okay, so you set your maximum budget. Do you need to just go ahead and spend it right away? No. This is a very important part of it. So you know your maximum is $18,000, and yes, you'll get value out of that. However, now you need to go back to step number 1. You look at those top market rents. What do these units look like? Do they have a spa in the backyard? Is it all like golden toilets and shit? No, probably not. So make sure you do not over-renovate on top of that top market rent. Maybe that only costs you $5,000. Great, then stick with that. Anyways, gonna go to number 2, because you guys don't want to stick along for a very long video. Before we go into number 2, can you just leave me a goddamn like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'll be phenomenal. Alright, thank you. Number 2,
Gutting everything.
so this is a mistake, shamefully, that I did like multiple times, and I'm still inclined to do it to this day. Even though I know the mistakes, I've been through them, I know they're not good, but I'm still sometimes inclined to do it. Why?
Because it's sexy.
Because you can do a before and after. Because you can walk in just
Destroy everything! Remove the kitchens!
install, brand new, and then you can take photos and show it to your mom while she's on the couch and tells you good job. Well, that's fantastic. However, your mom will always tell you good job, so just let's not worry about that for now. This is a business. You need to watch for your bottom line. It means do not spend something that you don't have to. And a lot of the times, you don't have to gut at all. So when you walk in with that contractor and he looks you in the eye and says,
Oh, this is the worst unit I've ever seen in my entire life.
realize that that contractor probably said the exact same word 7 times today. So get 2 more contractors, get 3 more contractors. Make sure that the thing that he wants to gut or remove everything actually is necessary to be removed. And when in doubt, what do? Go back to number 1, check your budget. Does your budget allow it? No, probably not. If it does, cool. Doesn't, let's move on.
But Mina, like the place was already full with like mice and
Okay, cool. If it's like completely garbage, got it. But does your budget allow it? If your budget doesn't allow it, you need to find out some other solution. Anyways, let's move on. Number 3. Number 3 is actually a little bit weird because this one is getting carried away with the value add phenomenon. What does that mean? It sounds a little bizarre and kind of counterintuitive as well. Well, let me elaborate on that. This happens when you read a couple of books, you listen to some podcasts, and start understanding that we need to add value to the property. We need to add more bedrooms. We need to add this. We need to certain aspects like that. While that is fantastic and is commendable and good for you for wanting to add value, however, we need to watch out. Why? Because sometimes we're idiots and we don't want to be idiots. I was an idiot, you don't have to be. Let's look at what I did. One of the basic rules of value add is add more bedrooms. I do that in most properties I get into. I look for a place to add another bedroom to make extra living space to finish the basement just to add extra value to my units. However, sometimes you need to look at the market first. In a certain situation, I had a unit where I walked in and I basically added another 2-3 bedrooms, which was all great. However, there was no living space. And this wasn't a student rental. This wasn't a place where it's a rooming house or I'm gonna rent it by the room. No, this was a general place where a family would live. And a family needs a living space. A family needs a place to chill. I didn't think of that. So that made the property less desirable in that market. And even though I thought I added value, however, it was a lot more difficult to rent it out for that top market rent, and I got a little bit less than I desired. So next time when you think of that brilliant, creative idea to add some value, always ask yourself, does the market allow it? Is this something necessary? Anyways, I did a whole bunch of other mistakes, but I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Hopefully you guys sticked around till the end, and if you did, I really appreciate you. Feel free to leave me a subject on which you would like me to do a video on, and I'll make sure I'll get that in my list. Anyways, much appreciated you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.